Morning squad, Sergeant Galvin. Squad leader, first squad, first platoon, Charlie Company 15 Infantry. This is mission and execution brief. First, our mission. First squad, first platoon, Charlie Company 15 Infantry will attack to destroy the enemy mortar team in the vicinity of Objective Phantom at Uniform Foxtrot 11973184. No later than 30 August at 2200, 2024, to deny enemy influence of battalion decisive operation. I say again, first squad, first platoon, Charlie Company 15 Infantry will attack to destroy enemy mortar team in the vicinity of Objective Phantom at Uniform Foxtrot 11973184. In order to deny enemy influence of battalion decisive operation, this will happen no later than 30 August 2200, 2024, in order to deny enemy influence of battalion decisive operation. The purpose of this operation is to deny enemy indirect fire influence in battalion AO. We will accomplish this mission by conducting an infiltration. Such that this is remaining undetected in our movement, in the setup of our battle positions, and then dominance over the east-west road on the objective. It's decisive because it enables surprise and concentration of fires from our support by fire element, allowing us to effectively eliminate the mortar team and their mortar system. This is assumed by performing raid without knowledge of the terrain. Obviously, we don't have enough time, as it is now 29 August, to conduct a full recon of the position, so we've used what we have at our disposal to mitigate that risk, as well as we know that enemy reinforcements are strong and they have dominant presence in AL Ronin, so we will mitigate that risk by moving swiftly throughout the operation and maintaining a quick tempo. Quick breakdown. Our main effort is Alpha Team with the task of destroying the enemy mortar team with the purpose to disrupt enemy fires. Supporting element 1 is Weapons Team with the task of support by fire with the purpose to enable friendly freedom of maneuver. And then support element 2 is Bravo Team conducting a screening with the purpose to prevent enemy reinforcement influence in the AO. The end state, broken down into its 4 respective states. First, for the terrain, will be friendly domination of the intersection on Objective Phantom. Enemy mortar team is destroyed, and enemy IDF capabilities are eliminated in AL Ronin. Civilian casualties will be minimized, as well as damaged infrastructure. Obviously, this is not in a highly civilian population area, so we should be okay with that. And then friendly will be returned to the company patrol base undetected with full accountability. Here's our concept sketch, moving into the concept of the operation by phase. First, in phase 1, we'll be planning. Begins with the receipt of mission and ends with the SP from the patrol base. During this mission, we'll be conducting PCCs and PCIs, doing outboard briefings, rehearsals, coordination between mortar. Phase 2 is movement, as depicted in the route plans already submitted. The 2 routes here, we'll be utilizing route stealth to remain undetected. It starts with the SP from the patrol base and ends with the arrival of the ORP. It's essential here is some crossing some LDAs, remaining undetected throughout AL Ronin as we move, and maintaining accountability through our movement. Moving into phase 3, recon and isolation. Obviously, our ORP is depicted here. It's serving as also our rally point for this objective due to the hasty nature of the operation itself and the lack of time that we have once we arrive at the ORP. From there, we'll depart on the leader's recon and recon the 4 battle positions, including the 2 security positions, the main element, or assault element, or main efforts position, and the support by fire position there. During this phase, we will gain positive ID of the enemy mortar team, establish the screening and support by fire positions, and then place all friendly elements prior to engagement, and identifying our 4 TRPs as depicted here. And this ends with the initiation from the support by fire team on Objective Phantom. Actions on starts with the initiation at Objective Phantom from the support by fire team and ends with the squad reconsolidation of the ORP. Here, some key things are surprise and massive fires of the enemy mortar team from both our support by fire element and our support elements, respectively. And then effectively destroying the mortar system itself with a charge and with a detonation charge, and then effectively withdrawing from the objective using the red, white, and blue plan, as we will get into in a second. Lastly, phase 5, consolidation and reorganization. The squad will be reconsolidated. Starts when the squad is reconsolidated at the ORP and ends with the SG back to patrol base. Here, accountability is super important. Getting lace reports and getting numbers on everything, and then moving swiftly to escape any potential enemy reinforcements. Now we'll be transitioning into the terrain model for phases 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so here we are on the terrain model. Quick orientation. Where my hand here is the northern end, and then where the numbers are depicted to the south there, that's the southern end of the objective. Here's this east-west road that runs through the objective, and then the north-south road there itself too. So first, during phase 3, recon and isolation, we do have our 2 targets as depicted here at Uniform Foxtrot 1197-3184 and Uniform Foxtrot, I'm sorry, that was the first one at Alpha Bravo 1020, and then Uniform Foxtrot 1198, or I'm sorry, 1189-3193. There, Alpha Bravo 1030. During this phase, we'll first conduct leaders recon, taking myself, the Bravo team leader, Bravo team rifleman, and the AG on leaders recon. We'll conduct first, overlooking the first far east security position, moving to the support by fire position, reconning the assault position, and then the other security position itself. And upon our return, we will take the rest of us with us. The GOTWA for that leaders recon will be going on leaders recon. Others taking with me is Bravo team leader, Bravo team rifleman, and the AG. Time is an hour and 30 minutes from when we depart from the ORP. What to do if we don't return is radio hire for 20 minutes at the 5-minute mark for 20 minutes, and then send a runner to regain contact. And actions on contact for us will bound back to the ORP before radioing up to hire for further intel. And then if you take actions while we're gone, defend yourself, we'll bound back to the ORP and radio up to hire and determine what to do next. When we return to the ORP from leaders recon though, we'll start by using the ass backwards, setting up first our security positions to the far east and to the north. This is our strong side security, where the Bravo team leader and Saul will be placed. And then this is the weak side security, where the rifleman and grenadier will be placed. We'll then set up the support by fire position utilizing route Cubs, where the gun team will set up the support by fire element over the objective, and then we'll set in the assault position utilizing route J's as depicted here, where Alpha team will set up the main effort. During this phase, the enemy are currently in place to southeast and at the intersection and fixed battle positions, when we're assuming with the enemy team that there's 4 packs. Contingencies here, with enemy contact, if we receive direct fire contact, we'll bound back to the ORP and then radio up to hire. If we receive IDF contact, if targeted more than once, so twice or more, we will count that as a hard compromise. We'll meet up the ORP to gain accountability, and then radio up to hire for further decision making. The casualty collection points for this phase are at the ORP, which is Uniform Foxtrot 1257-3248. Moving into phase 4, actions on. During this phase, the Alpha team will be bounding Overwatch, masking the effects of fire, known enemy to the front. Actions on will be initiated in the following the setup of the main effort and both supporting efforts. So once we're all in place, that support element will start, and then the assault element will begin to bound through. So first, the M240 will sound off with 10 seconds of cyclic between TRPs 1 and 3, as co-located here on this other side of the objective, before transitioning to 3 to 5 second bursts for the duration of the operation. All others will be on rapid for 10 seconds, then drop down to sustained. Friendly mortar rounds will splash prior to Alpha team movement. So again, those 2 mortar rounds will hit, and then Alpha team will begin to pick up and bound through the objective as such. The assault element will begin bounding towards phase line Jaguar, engaging between TRPs 2 and 3. So TRP 2 here and 3, the assault element will pick up and bound pretty much due south through the objective. As we cross the road, this is the decisive point, because crossing the road indicates that we have effectively engaged with the enemy and suppressed enemy forces. This is our path to mission success. In crossing that road, we've obviously begun to suppress the enemy and move towards them, and this will be decisive because it will allow us to destroy their enemy mortar system. At phase line Jaguar, so depicted here, this first phase line that we'll cross, the support by fire will shift following a TCN call from the squad leader with a flaming rock alternative. The new TRP is now 2 and 4. They'll confirm the shift fire, and then the Alpha team will pick up again and begin to continue to bound forward. As we cross phase line brown, so the second phase line here, the support by fire will cease via TCN call with a flaming rock alternative, allowing Alpha Team to clear the objective. There'll obviously be a confirmation to the squad leader before Alpha Team picks up and continues to clear through. Once we've reached the LOA and cleared through the objective to the far south, Alpha Team leader will confirm, and then Alpha Team rifleman and grenadier will perform a swift EPW and aid and litter search before returning the squad to exit the objective. To exfil, we'll use the ASS acronym. First, the assault on the call of red. The Alpha Team leader will initiate the demo fuse on the enemy mortar system. It's a 3-minute fuse. At that time, the assault element will pick up and return back to the ORP utilizing that same route J's. Second, on the call of white, the support by fire element will bound back to the ORP utilizing the same route Cubs and meet the ORP. And then on the call of blue, the security element will return to the objective so that all friendly forces are at the ORP. We'll return to the ORP so that all friendly forces are here and accounted for. During these, the use of TCN calls will be between team leaders to initiate those movements. Here we know that the enemy, if we're overwhelmed by enemy reinforcements, we'll bound back to the ORP and radio up. And if indirect fire targets us again, we will count two hits as a hard compromise and radio up to higher. Any EPWs in this phase will be moved to the ORP and will radio platoon leadership for more information. Phase 5, reconsolidation and organization. At the ORP, we'll gather any EPWs or casualties for efficient transportation, conduct LACE reports for a gauge of combat effectiveness, and team leaders and squad leaders will get total accountability prior to movement. This movement begins in a file. We'll be traveling to try to move swiftly away from the objective to the northeast, following that same route to remain undetected from the enemy, and then we'll transition into a squad column fire team wedge at traveling overwatch for increased security as we move through the AO. Again, we want to remain undetected so that the enemy is not aware of our presence. The CCP casualty collection points during this phase are at the ORP itself, and then we'll move those casualties with us back to the patrol base once we get information from higher. The enemy situation here is that the enemy have been destroyed on Objective Phantom, and enemy reinforcements are likely en route from the west. Again, if we're overrun by reinforcements, we'll have to handle those accordingly. Transitioning back to the PowerPoint itself, I'll quickly go over the timeline with some key information. First, I'd like to just touch on the actions on objective. So you see here, utilizing Route SOX and Route Marlin, those security teams are in place. Utilizing Route J's, the main effort is in place, and then utilizing Route Cubs, the support by fire elements in place. On actions on, between 1 and 3, support by fire engages. As the assault element moves, the shift fire between 2 and 4, and the cease fires across phase line brown, LOA, EPW, casualty treatment, anything moving casualties off the objective, and then pulling out assault element first, then the support by fire element, and then finally the security elements. Transitioning into the timeline, so this is the timeline. Some important things are right now at 0600, where the squad leader receives a mission. And then I'm now issuing a mission to brief the team leaders at 1100. Some important things are the pre-combat inspection will be with the platoon leader at 1700 on 29 August. And then our SP is at 2200 on 29 August. So we'll be moving overnight to utilize the darkness to try to remain undetected in our position. Some other things to be aware of are Objective Bobcat being seized. So that's in our AO with the Alpha Company, Bravo Company, and Battalion HQ for 1-5 Infantry. And that happens no later than 0500 31 August. We'll return to our patrol base. We're expecting around 0200 on the 1st of September. And then at 1400 on the 1st of September, we prepare for follow-on operations as needed. Last two coordinating instructions here. So priority information requirements are to identify current enemy positions, report movements, troops of any size. We got this from higher, they want anything platoon level larger, but since we're such a small element, we'll need any enemy movement of any sort, we need to report up. And then we'll need to know if the enemy is aware of Cougar Company's presence in AO Ronan. Some friendly force information requirements. If we lose any key weapon systems throughout the process, if we're soft compromised, hard compromised, or we're taking any casualties, those things that immediately need to be reported up. Some EDFI, so some unit locations. We must be aware of where our friendly unit locations are throughout the mission to prevent fratricide on the objective. Accountability in movement at the ORP, prior to, after the operation, and then movement back to the patrol base. We need to have accountability of soldiers. And really that goes for the entire mission, obviously with a lot of moving parts and a lot of things happening at once. Adjacent unit locations, so we know the second squad is at objective Reaper at Uniform Foxtrot 363, and then third squad is at objective Phantom, Uniform Foxtrot 1065-3531. Mop levels will be 0 for this mission. PCCs, PCI focused ammunition, lubricated rifles. Obviously, we're expecting to engage the enemy. It's super essential that we're all up on ammunition. Squad leaders team leaders need to be big on that. And then lubricated rifles, obviously, rifle jams in the objective. That could be detrimental to our mission success. Priority rehearsals will be Alpha Team first, the assault element, a lot of moving parts there. Then Gun 1, conducting the setting up the support by fire position, and then Bravo Team conducting some practice on security positions and rehearsing that. Priorities of work, first weapons cleaning, then security. Our weapons cleaning and security, so we'll rotate in and out on that, and then to get those rifles lubricated, and then rehearsals, food, sleep. Obviously, like I said, rotating pairs for weapons cleaning, and so this concludes my brief.